Okay, we have an escapade in Mr. Natsume's room. Yes, let's go. Yeah, but it's not surprising that Iris and Sholmes made a time travel device. I just forgot how many books Natsume has. Oh my god. So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home to Japan? Yeah, indeed I am. Everything is arranged already. We'll be sad to see you go. So Sholmes went in the future long before Iris, Ryunosuke, and Sasato? Jeez. And after, Reno worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. What a shame. I feel like it was all a wasted effort. Don't say that! I know what you're suggesting. Now calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really. You're in good company here, sir. If you fear the Reaper, he needn't hide the fact. I'm a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan. I'm not a scaredy cat. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Don't deny it. Talking of cats, words. Talking of cats, Mr. Sholmes just casually threw one among the pigeons there. And Ryunosuke and Sholmes were about to do? Jesus Christ, oh my god. I'm gonna check that one out at some point. I mean, like me belongs in Japan, not here. That's what I've come to realise. I wonder. A moustache such as yours is eminently suited to London, I would say. Blackwell was basically Walter White and Trucy as Jesse. Not surprising. Not surprising with those two, oh my god. Those two would definitely be in a Breaking Bad parody. There goes Mr. Sholmes for another cat. The moment I arrived in the city, I noticed. Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back, like hyenas. Hysterical, hyenas ha-haing horribly. And Sholmes was an anomaly in Breaking Bad. Again, not surprising. What did Sasato say? I think I skipped over what she said. Oh no, I didn't. Oh no, I did. I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume. Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around and peer down the fog-filled streets, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Well, there's you, Bruno, and Susie in here, so that's 3 foreigners out of 5 people. I take your point. Only the other day, I was taking a stroll through the fog as usual, when a young man approached me from ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat. Observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. There's a fly in my room. This is hanging out of my corkboard. Thanks for the look, nature guy. I thought to myself, I'm not the only one suffering in this hell. But do you know what? Can you imagine? It was just my own reflection in a shop window. A stunning, stinging, stupefying surprise. Don't forget slapping the face. Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen thereabouts, ladies passing by. Even the man in the shop window. Ah yeah, and a certain great detective would like to be included among the mercy. Ah! Mr. Sholmes is really going for Sasaki's-san today. Yeah, leave him alone! Well, I for one think you're very handsome, Mr. Natsume. There, did you hear that? This 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful? That makes me feel suspiciously warm inside. He looks genuinely delighted. The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people, how could anyone possibly enjoy that? No one could, it's impossible. If you're a genuine Japanese. What about Ryunosuke? What about Ryunosuke, Sasaki? If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. A Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived on the experience. There is Ryunosuke. Mr. Ogai Mori. Oh, I believe he studied in Germany. Mr. Mori? Yeah, tell us more of this fellow. Well, today he's a very successful author in Japan. Oh, I've heard of him. He's the professor who wrote My Hime, isn't he? My Hime? I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen, maybe? Oh, I see. A tale of a woman who waltzed her way through the world, perhaps. You really needn't make up a silly translation, you know. It's already officially called The Dancing Girl in English. It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time In Germany, he became close with a local lady when he was there. Close, you say? With a local lady? Our compatriots permanently contradictory conduct. Well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends to a large extent on your character. As I say, many minds. Mr. Mori has an open mind. Mr. Natsume, a closed one. Possibly a slight black and white for you, do you think, Mr. Jones? Well, anyway, if that's how you feel about being abroad, why did you choose to study here? Wasn't it to further our nation's understanding of the English language or something? Yeah, that's right. So, what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain then? I was a school teacher. Of English, of course. A bit cursory, perhaps, but I've managed to discover some information about Mr. Natsume's teaching days. That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't it, Mr. Sato? Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruhado. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become? That's easy. Aishiteru or Suki Desu. Wrong. According to Mr. Natsume's teachings, at least. What? Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume? Yeah, of course. Your research was very thorough. I always used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say, Suki ga kire desu ni. My name is Mr. Natsume. I must interject. Suki ga kire desu ni will translate as the moon is beautiful, isn't it? I know that. The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration, our Suki, by appreciating the beauty of the moon, the Suki. Using the Suki to express Suki. It's an amusing play on words, I see. No, our language, you might understand there. 5 shelves. It's not play on words, it's soul, it's humble, it's fleeting and beautiful. It's art. Drink chocolate, oh my god. Isn't it just being shy? My dear fellow, the foreign dancing girl will forever be out of your reach with attitude. One of those flavored straws you put in milk? I have never had one of those. I should buy one. I feel like I need to buy one at some point. And how good is it? Imagine how the great Mr. Mario would act. He would win the lady's heart in a flash with well placed and unrestrained I love you. A fruit salad one, the tree sweets. Oh my, that sounds nice. That smooth Mr. Mario. Am I destined to live in his shadow forever? Just what sort of man is he in that imagination of yours? The fact is, I just can't settle in this funky London town with all its foreign inhabitants. I lost count on the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. The ones that come in the yellow pink wrappers. Yeah, I know which ones you mean. As it happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time. No, really? Sal Scott lives near there. A man by the name of William James Craig. His knowledge of Sal is unsurpassed. He's a great inspiration to me over. Forgive the interruption, but am I supposed to be familiar with this Sal of which you speak? It's Shakespeare, of course, but in Japanese we write it as Sa and O. It's a phonetic representation using kanji characters, so England is Igirishu and America is America. Come to think of it, we use the same characters as Ri in one word and Rishu in another. Talk about confusing. So Shakespeare is Sao in Japanese. Presumably the Sa is a brutal attempt at the first shot, in which case where's the Kespe. I never thought of it, we only have the O left, so Sao, which could, even in the most charitable interpretation, only be a brutal attempt at old man. It seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the character's first name got bored very early on. Complete, kanji, character, catastrophe. So then, on to the burning question. What about me? How do you write my name? Sorry? Hello shows, my dear fellow. There must be Japanese characters from my name. Oh dear, I'm sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of. What? He just talks fucking floor. Am I really listening to you, Japanese? In that case, it is a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once. Well, we could use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with, and then use one more to give. So, oh, perhaps. I think that would be about right, Mr. Sholmes. But that's almost the same as Sao, isn't it? Yeah, you employed that dreaded O. I don't want people to confuse me with an old man who died centuries ago. I'm sure the world's greatest literary figure would rather not be confused with you either. While the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor even. So how about handsome? Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. I'm sure everyone will be calling you that 100 years from now. How can you say that with a straight face? What about me then? I'm Iris. Perhaps Aihime, since the second character doesn't seem to matter. Aihime? Oh yeah, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris. Stop, please. With a name like that, Mr. Mori is likely to turn up at any moment and rashly declare, I love you. Mr. Mori-san has become quite a character in Sasaki-san's mind. I knew Mr. Naruhara. My adventure Kurobozu as a fame name for you, as in the Dark Monk. Oh, that's quite very good. It describes you perfectly, Runa. So you think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, dear? But Mr. Naruhara already has a Japanese name. I don't believe he needs another. Well, anyway. We were never talking about your life here in London, weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should just get out and have fun. The landlady has said as much to me too. Mrs. Garda? But it wasn't fun at all. It was frightful. Whatever did he mean? A cycle incident. An incident? On a bicycle? Oh yeah, come to think of it. There's an old bicycle parked just outside, isn't there? It's in a sorry state though. I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. Perhaps my pronunciation was wrong. So I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel spiderwebbed stallion to a nearby park. I really don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume. Joan Gardab isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer. If you're going to die, you might as well die in beautiful surroundings. So the park was my first thought. After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises. So you got the knack of it? Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do. Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun. Oh no, that's just what people tell you. But it's an old wives' tale. Is it? I mean, just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a bicycle for nothing. No, it's got a bicycle because it's got two wheels. How anyone expects to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forwards is beyond me. Power promises pain. I don't think it was possible to get worse with practice. I'm lucky to be alive, although I must say, after looking death in the eye for a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. And notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could make progress in the forward direction. What a triumph. Deduction is much the same. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it leads only to bare disappointment. But after a week of picking one's way carefully along the path of reasoning and thought, one begins to see results. So, is that why all of your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked? That was a wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were little stones everywhere. Death traps. Not that way, I said back to myself, but the wild vehicle wouldn't listen. It wobbled me on and on down the street. So instead of going down on the road, like, which is pretty common, I don't know how common it was back in the 1800s, but over here in England, driving on the road is fairly common. Like, we have cycle lanes and everything, like, all over the place. So, yeah. So, of course, I hit one of those deadly stones and the police pulled through me. It's just my luck. The icicles are the epitome of my pitiful life. I wish I could disagree. On the same subject, I'm sure there's a famous American author who's written about having a similar experience. Oh yeah, I've read that essay too, Iris. Some of us are better than others. Well, no more dicicles for me. Oh, Mr. Natsume, at least you have an interesting anecdote to take with you back to Japan if nothing else. You always want us to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Mrs. Sato? Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time. No, me neither. That's good. So how about John? We shall all ride out together. Huh? That sounds great. I'll perch behind Mr. Sato. But the sun is going down. It'll be pitch black before long. London street lamps are very bright, you know. And the fog isn't too thick today. And the beloved riders are bent out of shape. Oh, dear fellows, you are bound to topple the vehicle anyway. It's fitting that it's already bent out of shape. It's settled then. Come along, Mr. Natsume. Shall we go? Asuki ga kiri desu. Don't tell me that's his translation of no thank you as well. Indeed, Mr. Natsume, the moon is at its most beautiful at precisely this time in the evening. Oh. We're not Japanese, you can't beat around the bush with us. What a weird and wonderful world. He's so silly. He's so silly. He's so silly.